Despite having the two hardest hit balls of the night and the ball that traveled further than any ball tonight, the Padres lose in Arizona 5-1, as if any of that matters. John and Jim with you on the wrap-up show. Not the start that Padres fans were hoping for with this very daunting road trip through Arizona and LA. The Diamondbacks have won 4 consecutive games. They're over 500. The Padres all of a sudden are just 8 games over 500. This offense is completely sideways. We'll get into it all here over the next hour. So subscribe if you are new to the channel. Whether you're here live or on replay, please subscribe. You're on content. For Padres fans, smash the like button for us. Follow us on X at John Schaefer at Jim Russell SD. I see the first super chat of the night. We'll get to it. We appreciate your rocket. We'll get you in a few minutes. If you want to support our work, if you want to see your comment on screen, click that $ below the chat box. We appreciate your support of the channel. Questions, comments, whatever it is, click the $ below the chat box. If you just want to vent and if you want to become a member, click the join button down below. More of the same, Jim. 1 extra base hit. It was to lead off the game. Fernando Tatis Jr., the only run scored on an error. Padres led again. They've led in like every game they've played, yet they lost again. Stephen Kolek ineffective by the end. Padres did not have a hit against Arizona's mid bullpen, and the Diamondbacks win game 1 5-1 here today.
This team stinks right now. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care what anyone says. They stink. Let me rephrase that. Offensively, they stink. Pitching, they have been and done their part. Right, the pitching side, for the most part, has done their part, and they have shown up. The offense is just an absolute fucking joke right now. I mean, it's a joke. And the fact that on Wednesday, after they just lost 2 or 3 to the Dodgers, you got Manny Machado and Gavin Sheets to the public telling everybody that they're playing really good baseball. We can see right through that. You're not playing good baseball. You're actually on offense the worst team in the sport right now. And the stats back it up. Like over the last month and a half, you are the worst offensive team in the sport. Like the numbers show it. So don't tell me you're playing good baseball. You're not. Like you're lucky that the last 17 games or whatever, how many games are like a 500 team? Since
they're 3 under since 14-3. They're 3 under since 14-3. They're 5-6 to start these 17 games.
What I meant was since their 6-game losing streak.
Got you. Yeah.
So, you know, that they are not doing anything right offensively. Everybody in the lineup besides Manny Machado right now is awful. Luis Ariz forgot how to I mean, he can hit a baseball. He just can't get a baseball to drop anywhere. And other than that, he brings nothing to the table. Defensively, he's not good. He doesn't draw walks. He has no power. The bottom half of your lineup is a complete embarrassment to the sport of baseball. Xander Bogarts is an embarrassment of a signing, the worst in the franchise's history. So other than that, everything's great.
I will say this, and I'm serious when I say it. Tatis actually had a good night. He roped a ball down the right field line. He ripped a single up the middle. He flat out to the warning track. But, I mean, he was 2 for 3. He walked, which he's been doing. He got his OPS back over 800. Hopefully he can parlay that into something. And so here's my rant. My rant has nothing to do with this team losing 5-1. It has everything to do with people telling me this lineup needs to change. No, it doesn't. This lineup needs to hit. This lineup does not need to change. This lineup needs to hit. They've had 1 extra base hit in their last 2 games. They've had 10 combined hits. They just cannot hit. But it's not about moving Fernando Tatis Jr. or moving Luis Ariz or moving Jackson Merrill or Manny Machado or Gavin Sheets. They need to perform. It's time. We're at the halfway point. Essentially, the All-Star break is staring us down within the next month. Like, you're not getting saved by the break. They're not going to go trade for a Juan Soto type player. They're going to add Taylor Ward. Great. Is that really going to drastically change your season? Let's be honest. We've watched trade deadlines our whole lives. How often does the trade deadline drastically change the fortunes of a team? It can upgrade you, but they need the other 25 players to perform. You know, you might get 1 or 2 pieces added at some point in the weeks ahead, but don't tell me if they moved Elias Diaz from 8 to 9, or if they move Tyler Wade from 9 to 2, all of a sudden that unlocks this offense. You can unlock this offense. They're not performing. They have scored 1 run 17 times this year. 1 run or fewer 17 times. That is the second worst total in baseball, ahead of just the Rockies, who have done that 20 times. So This offense looks nothing like last year, Jim. I mean, a year ago, they were pesky, they were scrappy, they were good. It was a top 8-ish offense. This team has no slug, and they don't have those friendship innings either. They're not putting things together, leading to crooked numbers. They're just not doing much of anything right now.
I agree with you. What are you gonna? I mean, seriously, I would love, and I'm not like throwing this at the chat right now because I'm not seeing it in the chat, but it has been talked about on social media and maybe I don't know. What would you want to do with this lineup? Like, seriously, give me.
Why can't I hear you? What's worse?
Because I nicked my fucking
computer
microphone.
Or the offense. I got you.
Off.
You're back.
God. Anyway, I was about to say, give me a better lineup than this, because I can tell you one thing. Like you said, it don't matter what lineup you throw out there. If the guys in the lineup aren't going to hit like they aren't hitting right now, it's like rearranging chairs on the Titanic. Things going down and there's nothing you could do about it.
Yeah, like let's just for a moment take a step back. Like, they're 38-30, which again, overall is better than they were a year ago. I think we all understand that. Just from a sheer record perspective, they are in a better spot. But we have to remember it's all based on what else is going on in the National League. And 38-30, is a fine spot to be in, Jim, but it also leaves you very susceptible, is what I would say. And of course, there's plenty of baseball in front of all of these teams. I'm just saying, like, they got real work to do. Kevin Acey with us today said, they play 500 baseball from here on out. There's a very good chance they're not a playoff team. I mean, it could take 90+ wins. I know it's Fangraphs. The playoff percentage thing isn't something that matters right now, but I'm just telling you, like, okay, maybe they have a better than a coin flip shot of making the postseason as we sit here right now, but it's not like definitive. It's not. I mean, they needed that ridiculous run in the second half last year. Nobody's expecting that. I'm not expecting 43-19. I don't think they'll need 43-19, but like, this division is legit. Even Arizona, I mean, maybe they sell off parts. Maybe they can't do it over 162, but you're like leaving teams in it, like Arizona specifically. Arizona's within a couple of games of you right now in this division. So I guess my point is, 38-30 is better than when they were 50-50 a year ago, but it guarantees nothing. We all watched 2021. They were 17 games over 500 at one point that year. Later than this, they finished under 500. So I'm not saying they're finishing under 500. I'm not saying time to panic, but I am saying this will not work. This ain't cutting it. They continue to play like this. That's nowhere near good enough. And they're going to, feel the consequences of that if they continue to play like this.
What spin job did Schulte use post game? Does anybody?
I haven't. Well, no. I don't think Apple TV had it, and I haven't seen anything. Is there stuff out there?
I'm sure the other station put it out.
It hasn't been that long. I'm not sure if anything is.
Yeah, it's out there.
Okay.
I don't see any quotes, but like, I'm sure it was a spin job by him. As expect nothing different from Mike Schulte. But, I tweeted out, this team needs it offensively, at least. Because, like I said, I'm not going to say the team, because the pitching staff for the last month plus, they've actually held their own. And they've been, the bullpen has been used way too much because this shitty offense can't get their act together. So I can't say the entire team is, but I have to just put this solely on the offensive players. Like, that lineup right now is letting the other guys on the team down. They are letting the pitching staff down. They are letting the bullpen down because they are inept on offense. And it's not about changing the lineup. It's about Fernando Tatis Jr. and Luis Arraez and Jake Cronenworth and Xander Bogarts and Jackson Merrill and whoever the hell they're going to put else in this lineup. They need to get the job done because they're doing the pitching staff and the bullpen absolutely no favors. I didn't think Stephen Kolek pitched that bad tonight. I mean, if you look at the advanced numbers, this was a night that as a team going into this game, seeing how well the DBacks have been this year against right-handed pitching, you're probably going to need to put up more than one run.
Oh, 100%. It's a good point. No, Kolek was far from awful because you're right.
Good.
Yeah. No, you're right. He left them in it long enough until they weren't there in the fifth inning, and kind of like the dam broke so to speak. And the home runs he allowed, okay, Naylor can get you. I mean, the Corbin Carroll home run went over the wall by like an inch. But at the end of the day, it's 5 runs. I think 4 of them were earned. Oh, but I need to make this point as well about the offense, because I mentioned it to start the show, and we'll get to these super chats, guys. Please subscribe, and thank you for the supers. Click the $ below the chat box. Arizona's bullpen ERA coming into tonight was 5.12, 4th worst in baseball. They went 4 hitless innings. So they had the 4th worst ERA among bullpens in the sport, and they went 4 hitless innings in relief. I mean, their bullpen is lacking everything. Multiple closers. I mean, they're just holding on by a thread right now. To Jim's point, they can beat you by scoring runs. They have to outscore teams to win. That's not what they did today. Ryan Nelson was good. Obviously, a lot of swings and misses, enough strikeouts, and then their bullpen was elite here today. But like, that's just unacceptable. Also, it's just like unacceptable that you go to Arizona where you should score runs. You're indoor, you're in the right environment, in the right building against an average starting pitcher and an average bullpen, and you have 1 extra base hit. It's a double down the right field line to start the game. Not good enough. Nowhere near good enough. And yeah, I'd like to know what Mike Schilt had to say about it, but truthfully, it's not even Mike Schilt's fault. I mean, this team needs to play better. Rocket, thank you for the first super of the night. He says the inability to score runs will kill this team. I think it's a good summary.
You think?
If they don't score, they don't win. Yeah, I mean,
that's the whole point
offense,
of the game,
man,
is to score more points than
more
points than the other team, right?
Kyle Glazer had the stats yesterday on the off day, and now they're only worse. But it was 29th. Let's just say with all the numbers, the runs and the OPS, it was basically averaging to 29th in baseball, 2nd worst. And now today they score 1 run. You're like 29th and a half in baseball over the last month and a day offensively, and that's ridiculous for a team that has spent all of their money on position players. Add it up. I mean, that has to matter. Machado, Bogarts, Tatis, the extension for Merrill. I mean, they've spent $1 billion+ on offense and they can't score. That's not good enough.
You're in the like Pittsburgh Pirates realm of offense. I mean, that is a joke. I mean, when you look at the top offenses in baseball compared to the bottom offenses in baseball, it's like top offense. You got like the Dodgers. I mean, D-backs are up there as well, but like, and then you compare the bottom, you're like Pittsburgh, Colorado, San Diego. And you're right. When you have as much invested in this lineup as you do, Fernando Tatis Jr., $340 million contract. Manny Machado, $350 million contract. Jackson Merrill, $130 million contract. Xander Bogarts, $280 million contract. Jake Cronenworth, $77 million contract.
Yeah.
And what are you getting out of all those players combined? I mean, Manny's like carrying the weight there, but everybody else, it's a, I mean, yeah, I said this team needs a serious fucking wake-up call. I don't know what that's going to be. I don't even know how you accomplish that in baseball other than just like guys needing to perform. I mean, you're not going to bench anybody because you got nobody else on this bench. I mean, this bench is awful. You're not putting in Luis Campusano or, Jose Iglesias to replace guys. Like, no, it's the guys in the lineup that need to step it the fuck up and perform. And until they do that, this team is going to be just blah. And just absolutely blah.
100%. Let's get to this next super. Thank you, JD's third. Appreciate you guys hanging out, subscribing. Thank you for the supers. Click the $ below the chat box. Diamondbacks win game 1, 5-1. And by the way, the pitching matchups aren't ideal. I mean, you're facing decent starting pitching. Guys like Merrill Kelly. Arizona's starting pitching, is good enough. So we'll see how the Padres respond over the next couple of days. He says it's an odd year and it's a thing in San Diego. Cooked. I don't think they're cooked. I truthfully don't believe that they are cooked. I do believe they're in a little bit of hot water. And it's concerning and troublesome, but I can't correlate it solely to an odd year. I mean, it would suck if it was another one of those years that happened to coincide with a quote unquote odd year. But like we talked about concern levels today with Michael King and Yu Darvish, like what's my concern level with this team? I'm not overly concerned, but then again, if you ask me what's my concern level with this offense, I'd be like, well, I'm overly concerned about the offense. I think with the team, I'm just generally concerned. Like, I don't know where I'd be 1 through 10 from a team perspective, but it's beginning to to tick up. I mean, it's probably in the middle right now. It's probably in that 5 range, just my level of concern, just based on the eye test.
Yeah, I'll say I'm concerned. I'll say I don't want to fall into that trap. I really don't. And I know that this is still, a good portion of their season is remaining with July, August, September. Like they still have obviously plenty of time, right? But also, I feel like we fell into that trap a lot in 2023 where it was this offense will get it going. I mean, how long did we say just wait it out? These guys are too good. The back of their baseball cards. There's too much money in this team, and there's too many high-priced players to have them not, perform. Like they're gonna get hot. They're gonna get hot. They decided to get hot when the season didn't matter anymore, with 3 weeks left, and they were already completely out of it. So I feel like we fell into that kind of waiting trap in 2023. I'm not saying it's going to happen again, but I am cautious now after a pretty good chunk of this season so far, seeing what we have seen and just sitting here and being like, don't worry, everything will be fine. And this team will hit. Hope that happens. There's still a chance that it could, and there's plenty of time for it to happen. But like, I don't want to fall into that trap again because we've seen it. And what have you seen from this team other than the first 2 weeks of the season? They're like, yeah, they're going to turn it around.
You're right. I mean, 68 games. Like they've played 68 games. That's a huge number. And I get it. That still means that, 55, 60% of the season remains. But I mean, 68 games is a real indicator. You can't just be like, it's only 68. They have 94 to go. I mean, 68 guys. That's a lot of baseball games, more than the 2020 season, for example. And so thank you. He says, with you and King out for the foreseeable future, there may be too many holes to fill. You think they should buy or sell? I mean, there's no world where they're selling unless the wheels just completely fall off. There's no way. You don't draw $3.3 million. You don't commit this much money in payroll. You don't have a 32-year-old Manny Machado. I mean, Jim, if this thing just goes absolutely sideways and you look up at the deadline, you're 4 games under 500, then I get it. But that's a worst case. I mean, if they're 4 games under 500, the trade deadline, something went completely haywire and they should sell. I think all other scenarios, including being like 4 over at the deadline, which would still be 4 games under from now. But if you're 4 over overall, they are not selling at the trade deadline.
No. Imagine that. You're only 4 games over the deadline and Preller punts.
That's not really who he is.
No, but if that were the case, John, and they're only 4 games over at the deadline, I don't feel like there'd be much confidence outside of this organization, or maybe even in like
they'd hedge.
They'd hedge.
They wouldn't do anything. They'd add a piece on the periphery, right?
They'd pull a 2023. They kept everybody, and they added on the edges, and those players on the edges were fucking awful.
Awful. It's so hard. When you hedge, you have no chance of really improving your roster, but you kind of fake your way through it with your fan base. Like, we're not selling off. And
you said this to start, like 1 or 2 players at the deadline is not going to just all of a sudden make this team like the fucking greatest team ever. What the deadline is supposed to do is fill some holes and elevate an already really good baseball team like last year. Last year's team at the deadline was already a really good baseball team. Or at least they were a good baseball team, and they obviously had that run in August and September. But at the deadline last year, they were a good baseball team. What did the moves at the deadline do? Help elevate them to a great team, not like save the day like Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that's with the way this offense is played and the way this offense is, with a bunch of guys just completely just shitting the bed and underperforming, that people think that if they just get one bat, everything will be fixed. You might fix one problem in your lineup by filling a hole in left field, but guess what? You still have a problem at short offensively. You still have a problem with Tatis. You still have a problem with Arise. You still have a problem with Jake. You still have a problem with your bench. You still have a problem at catcher. Like, it's like, oh, cool, this one problem's fixed over here. It's like if a tank's leaking and you put a bandage over the tank, and it's like, oh, cool, that leak's fixed. But then there's 3 other leaks on the other side that you haven't fixed yet.
Yeah, it's a good point. It is. I mean, it's one thing, and you have to consider trend lines. Like if you started 14-3, and get to the deadline, hypothetically speaking, like we said, 3 or 4 games over 500, like what is the majority of the data telling you? It's not like you started 3-14 and got 4 games over. That would be impressive. But by starting 14-3 and then getting to 3 or 4 games over 500, and someone brought up a good point in the chat. I forget who it is, and I apologize. Someone said, well, what if you're 4 back in the wild card, but 4 games over 500 because of how good the National League is? And it's a fair point. 4 games isn't insurmountable, make no mistake. But if you're not playing well, how confident would you be that they would overcome 4 games in the final 60 games of the season? So, I mean, there's a lot to figure. Here's what I would do if I'm Preller, is I would try to do it sooner rather than later in left field and see if that helps. So I don't want to wait this off because I'm going through these offensive struggles. So if I can make some improvements, and again, you're not trying to add Juan Soto, just go find the left fielder that can make you better right now, or at least marginally better. Go find that right-handed hitter that's had a nice start to the year on some team that's willing to sell, even if you have to overpay with a mid-tier prospect. Just go do that and see if it at least helps. We both agree it's not going to change their entire fortunes, but maybe it's something. And I'd prefer to do it sooner rather than later, just because I'm watching every night and this offense has been anemic.
Yeah, this offense is like, it puts me to sleep.
It's really bad.
It's so bad. And the players in the lineup, they're high profile names. And I just got some major deja vu because that's exactly what we said in 2023. Yeah. Like exactly what we said. Man, high profile names, they're just stinking up the joint right now. And so I agree. Preller cannot wait this thing out. You cannot wait for guys to start performing. You have to act, and you have to kind of with a move signal to the team, hey guys, I don't really like what we're doing right now. Yep. And I don't believe in what we're doing. So I need to make a move because you guys right now can't hold up your end of the bargain. And that's on you guys. Like, did I have to go out and get this player right now? No, but I'm going and doing it because you guys as an offense fucking suck right now. Like, that's the thinking I would think, as a fan of like, dude, this is great, but man, maybe they overpaid for that guy because the team that's here right now stinks offensively.
But it also reminds me of what Preller said in 2021, which is like, yeah, we didn't land Max Scherzer, but then again, Max Scherzer wasn't going to save our season if we're not going to be good. So, like, if you weren't willing to go out and get Scherzer when the wheels started to, fall off a little bit, like, as in basically what we're saying, do you go bail out your team? But does it even work? Like, what we're saying they're feeling, I guarantee the conversations with baseball operations are we like, they're asking themselves, are we Taylor Ward away or are we Fernando Tatis Jr. and Jackson Merrill away?
Well, realistically, no, I get it. Realistically, it would be the same press conference of 2023, just on the offensive side. We have the pieces, and if they don't perform, then we're not going to be a good baseball team, and we're not making the postseason. That's it. And I agree. Taylor Ward is not coming in to save the day. He's coming in to upgrade left field.
Yeah, it could help.
But he is not going to just all of a sudden turn this whole ship around.
It would be ridiculous.
It would if that were to happen, right? But if Tatis and Arise and Cronenworth and Sheets and Xander and whoever their catcher is, I don't even want to say that, but you're just like, whatever. If those guys aren't going to perform and continue to stink up the joint every single night, other than Manny Machado, doesn't matter who you get, man.
Yeah. Let's get to some of these supers, guys. About 250 of you are here live. Please subscribe. Year-round content for Padres fans because you've had to go through tonight with us. I do want to do a giveaway at some point here tonight. So make sure to subscribe to this channel because we've got a couple of things to give away. The caveat might be you'll have to pick it up potentially at our iHeart office because I'm not sure I want to ship some of this stuff. But if you can do that, we'll give a couple of things away here tonight. Make sure to subscribe, though, to this channel. And thank you for the super chats. Click the $ below the chat box. Let's get back to the supers in a moment. Do want to thank our title sponsor, Marc Nimetz, who's, I think, maybe here or watching because he's been texting with us Here tonight, it is frustrating, but what is not frustrating is doing insurance or working with Marc Nimetz at Farmers Insurance, because I've got 3 insurance policies with them. We have a number of our viewers right now that do business with Marc Nimetz as well. If you have any insurance needs, let Marc take care of you. Lifelong Padres fan, native San Diegan. I've got homeowners and life and earthquake insurance through Marc. And if you ever need him, like you got to file a claim, he is there for you. Trust me, I had to file a claim couple of years ago. He took care of everything. We were out of our house for a couple of weeks. He saved us so much time, so much money. And then if you just ever need him, he's going to be there for you day or night. He does auto, he does home, he does renters, he does life, he does everything. So he supports this channel. He's been with us since day one as our title sponsor, 4 years on the wrap-up show. Get free quotes online by clicking the link in the description down below, or call Marc. He will talk to you about the Padres. He'll talk to you about saving money on your insurance as well. So if you support this channel, before you renew your next insurance policy, get in contact with Marc Nimetz at Farmers Insurance.
And all his information is on the screen ticker there below, mnimetz@farmersagent.com. When you reach out to him, don't mention Xander Bogarts, and let him know that John and Jim from the wrap-up show sent you.
Yeah, he doesn't insure Xander, and he wants to trade Xander like every other Padre fan, but that's not possible, sadly. He did get, by the way, just remind me of this, not even to entertain it, but he has a no-trade clause in general, correct? An 11-year, $280 million contract?
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere unless they eat all of his money or convince him of agreeing to a trade.
Even eating the money, though, he would have to. He has a no trade, right?
Correct.
Okay. JD's third, thank you for the super chat. He says, how are the Giants tied with the Dodgers for the National League lead over our Padres? How did
Look at Sleepy Bob.
How did the Arizona go to the World Series before AJ did? With our talent and payroll, makes no sense. I mean, listen, fair points there. I mean, playoffs have been a crapshoot. Whatever we want to say about that, we can say about that. I didn't think the Giants had any shot 10 days ago. I watched that series like every other Padre fan did. Giants couldn't score like the Padres can't score. Their lineup looks way worse than the Padres lineup, but they have completely awoken. Yes, they threw away that game against Colorado, but they're still rolling. I think they've won 8 of 9. And what are they? Both a couple of games clear right now of the Padres. So, yeah, I mean, the Giants, the job that they've done this year is impressive. Arizona, the last couple of years has been good. And yeah, the Padres have tried to play catch up at times to some of these teams in this division.
But I was told that Bob Melvin's an awful manager, John.
You weren't told that in 2022, Jim.
No, I know. I'm just saying, after that, Bob Melvin, man, that guy's an awful manager. Now, was he good in 2023? No, everyone sucked in 2023, including Bob. But it's so funny that the one guy that led the team to the NLCS for the first time since '98 gets shit on the most. Yeah,
no, I agree. I don't. I thought Melvin. If I'm being 100% honest, I think Schultz a good in-game manager. I think Melvin's a good manager. I probably prefer Schultz to Melvin in-game, but I had no problems with Bob Melvin. And when he got here, people thought you were getting like a top 2 manager in the game, top 3 manager in the game. So there's no way on his way out, he all of a sudden was the 30th best manager in the game. Right. So it's like your opinion on him in 2022, how could it change a year later? He's the manager. He's not the front office, and he's not the players. So I do think he's a good manager. I think Mike Schultz is a good manager. I think they're both probably top half of the league managers, maybe better than that, top third of the league managers. And guess what? When Mike Schultz is no longer here, he'll get a bad rap too, would be my guess.
Yeah, when it's like anytime someone leaves this organization, you immediately have to shit on them, regardless of what they did or did not do with the team. I'm just looking up a stat here because I wanted to see. So someone in our chat put the slugging percentage of Xander Bogarts, and I had to do a double take.
Yeah,
because I didn't realize how low
obviously awful because he's hit 3 home runs.
I know. I just didn't realize how low his slug percentage was this year. And I'm just looking. So right now, where is it? Holy shit. All right. Of the 161 qualified players in baseball,
or is in the National League?
Is this in baseball? No, this is in the National League. 161. Yeah. No. Sorry. This is all of baseball. Yeah. Of the 161 qualified players in all of baseball. All right. Xander Bogarts at this very moment is 155th in slug percentage in all of baseball.
So there's 6 hitters below him?
Yes.
I find that hard to believe there's 6 hitters below him.
And you want to know one of the players that is below him in slug percentage right now?
It's probably Luis Ariz.
Luis Robert Jr.
That's fascinating.
He's slugging 304 this year. Xander slugging 318. I actually looked up Luis Ariz slug, and he's slugging 394 on the season, actually. But Xander, for anybody out there still defending Xander and his like contract, because
who is that person?
Well, it's on Instagram because of our video that we posted.
Oh, yeah.
But you need to do a serious wake up call because this guy right now is having just a god awful season. And I go back to what they said after they got eliminated from the postseason last year and they had their end of the year press conference. And I remember sitting in this very seat and watching AJ Preller talk to the media over a Zoom call. He said they need Xander Bogaerts to be an all-star this season for them to accomplish what they want to accomplish.
Spoiler.
He's as close to being an all-star as we are to the
WFA in New York.
Like the closest habitable planet in our solar system, which is, or not solar system, but in our universe, which is like 40,000 light years away or something.
I mean, again, it's just so easy that I'm not even going to entertain it right now, but I will entertain this. And thank you, BM, for the super, because we've talked about this a little bit. So Tatis actually hit the ball hard a couple of times today. I had 2 hits. He says,
"Yay!"
I mean, he had 2 hits. I mean, Bogarts actually hit the ball hard and was 0 for 4. So I'm not going to defend that. But Tatis had 2 hits, including a double. So I can't rip a 2 for 3 and a walk, reach base safely 3 times in a game night. He says, guys, we all love him, but do you see Tatis ever return to upper echelon elite levels, or is he just a bubble all-star player? And that's the reality. That is the question about Tatis. Boom. Like, he just nailed it in a super chat. We talked about it with Kevin today. Is he an 800 OPS player moving forward with trends? Like maybe a year he pops to 870, another year he's 790. Or is he a 900 OPS player or 950? Proof is in pudding. First 3 years, he was the 900 player plus. Last 3 years, he's been the 800 player-ish. So, I mean, is 3 years enough to make a definitive statement and say he's no longer getting back to where he was? Maybe, I guess, is the point. I think we're at the point, Jim, where we can't count on Tatis being the 960 player anymore. We might hope for him being the 960 player, but I don't think you can count on him being the 960 player. And now it's like, can you count on him being an 860 player? And that jury's very out on that. He would have a lot of work to do this year, for example. He's over 800 right now, but he'd have work to do to be an 860 OPS player, for example, this year.
Here's the problem. They signed the 960 OPS guy.
Yeah, they sure did.
They didn't sign the 830 OPS guy. That's his best OPS since, PED suspension. They didn't sign a guy that's going to have a high water mark of 830 OPS of an 830 OPS. Like,
right, that should be like the low water.
Like, people aren't. No one's talking about that. That this contract was a contract that they gave to Fernando Tatis Jr. thinking he was going to be an MVP player until he's like 32 or 31. And instead he's turned into, as BM says, like a bubble all-star player at best. Mm-hmm. And that's not good. Like, that's not good at all. The thing with Tatis is there is still a ton of time for him to put up a season comparable to his first 3 years in the league. But I'm telling you, man, if we look back at Tatis's career and he doesn't put together another like 920 OPS season.
Wait, for the rest of his career?
Like, if the high watermark for him in his career OPS wise is like, say, like 880, which would be a really, really good season.
I'd take the over. Like even with everything I've seen, which is his career, I'm taking the over on him having another year. But the problem is at 340, you want him to have like every year be another year. Like every year should be 880 plus.
Yeah, they signed him to have like, not just another like, oh man, in the next 5 years we'll have 1 year where it's like a 900 OPS. Like, no, they signed him for the next 5 years to have like a 900 OPS every year.
Dude, I thought his ceiling in like 2019 through 2021 was a 3-time MVP.
And he's not even close.
That's a far cry. Now his ceiling is like, again, he could make an all-star team maybe just based on popularity, although it'll be harder today because he's nowhere near as popular as he was 4 years ago. He's going to make some all-star teams. But I understand your point. I think it's and the point made here from BM, I think it's a very valid point. Is he ever going to be a 960 OPS guy again? That might be wishful. We've seen it for a month. We saw it in September last year. I saw it in October last year. I saw it in April this year. But for whatever reason, he can't put it together for like 4 months. He can put it together now for like 3 weeks, not for like 3 months. Michael, thank you for the super chat. Very generous. We appreciate you, man. He says, putting Merrill in the 2 spot would 100% make this lineup better. How can you say it wouldn't? You can't get much worse. The only way is up. Arise, no slug. He's perfect number 6 hitter. Toddy, Merrill, Manny equals more runs. I don't think Arise is a perfect number 6 hitter because he's never hit 6th in his career, by and large. We could look it up. I think that if Jackson Merrill was in the 2 hole, not much changes personally. Like, I really don't. I think moving Luis Arise down, he actually hits with men in scoring position, so it's not the worst idea in the world. I'm not saying you, Michael. I'm just saying in general, we're just making it up. They're not unlocked with a lineup change. I just don't see it. They might be unlocked with a lineup change, like changing the players in the lineup. But with this lineup, it's like, I don't think it gets much different, truthfully. I really don't, by changing it up.
You want to hear something that I just saw on social media? And
Sure.
Shout out to Clark on X. These are the Padres numbers against left-handed pitching since May 5th. And we've talked about this. This team has way too many lefties in the lineup. And Fernando Tatis Jr. can't hit lefties if his life depended on it. He is fucking awful against lefties this year. All right. They have a 61 WRC plus, which is awful. 28th in baseball. A 572 OPS, which is last in baseball, and a 22.7 hard hit rate, which is 29th in baseball since May 5th.
Well, I'm with you. That's embarrassing. And then I would say, well, what's the excuse against Ryan Nelson? So, you know what I mean? Like,
it doesn't matter who they throw. Like, it just.
But that's what I'm saying. But if you can't hit lefties, then hit righties.
If Matt Sauer's not on the mound against the Padres, this offense has been anemic at best.
Well, that's my point. You're right. They haven't hit lefties, but they're not hitting righties.
They're not hitting anybody.
That's just the problem.
I'm just pointing out, like, if changing the lineup again, guys, it's like rearranging chairs on the Titanic right now. I'm not saying it's the ship is sinking for this season. I'm just saying, like, right now, you're not changing the outcomes unless the guys perform. That's just as simple as that. And with how many lefties they have in their lineup, with how bad these guys are, you're thinking to yourself, yeah, move this guy here. Then, like, why is Bogarts hitting 6th? Well, if Bogarts doesn't hit 6th, then you got 3 straight lefties with Merrill, Sheets, and Cronenworth.
Yeah, it's not happening.
They're not doing that. And then you have Arise hitting 2nd. So it's like your 2 through 6 would be, if you moved Xander lower in the lineup, which everyone wants to do, right? You move Xander lower in the lineup. You got Tatis, who can't hit lefties. You got Luis Arise, who can't hit anything right now. Then you got Manny Machado, who's really good. And then you got Jackson Merrill, lefty. Not Xander Sheets. Gavin Sheets, a lefty. Jake Cronenworth, a lefty. So, like, they got some major problems right now with their lineup.
Here's the thing. AJ Preller has a whole team that works for him. They run simulations of different lineups all the time. If there was some keystone moment, if there was something to completely unlock this, they would have done it. Mike Schultz not putting his foot down saying, I have to have the lineup in this order, come hell or high water. The truth is they believe this is their most, this is the lineup that gives them the best chance to have success. This was the lineup they used by and large the first 15 games of the season when they did have success. It is the lineup they've used since Merrill and Arise have come back, and they haven't had the same amount of success. So, yeah, at the end of the day, they just got to hit. As simple as it sounds. Slot ain't easy. Thank you for the super. He says Merrill got the bag and now coasting. Nothing's further from the truth, obviously, and I think he's kidding. And Merrill, honestly, if you took the deeper dive at his numbers, has actually been fine, Jim. He's just not hitting for power. He's been fine. Mm-hmm. His numbers are not bad at all. I mean, he's hitting 304 in the year. Even if we look since he's returned, I don't think his numbers have fallen off cliffs. He just has not shown that power that he showed us a lot last year, and he showed us for 10 games to start this year.
The two best hitters in the lineup are Manny and Merrill.
Yeah, as you're saying, just as like pure hitters.
Yeah, well, not only that, but just
right now,
as of right now.
Yeah,
and Merrill, he's not like crazy hot, but he still puts together good at bats. I mean, I'd have to do a deep dive on like his advanced numbers, but again, when you look at Merrill's contract, you know how team friendly that thing is.
Yeah, very.
It's and I'm not going to even consider jumping off the Jackson Merrill bandwagon on June 13th of his second year in the big leagues. This guy has shown us too much. This guy has proven that he is a special player. And I mean, even if he did end up regressing from his first year, the contract still looks completely fine. Completely fine. This is not a Xander Bogarts situation where the contract is just going to weigh this team down for the next however many years. That's just not it. Even if Jackson Merrill does not, look anything like his first year in the big leagues, he still can be a productive player for you and play in the bigs for easily the next 10, 15 years. Like he's going to be a 10, 15-year vet.
I mean, and a lot of times second-year players do have struggles. Look at Corbin Carroll's first half last year. Mm-hmm. He was awful. His second half was awesome, and his first half this year has been equally awesome. He was bad for a half a year, way worse than Merrill is right now. I just looked up Merrill's last 30 games. Yeah, he's only hit one home run. He's hit 254. It's not like the guy's completely fallen off a cliff. 254, it's probably higher than Major League average over the last 30 games. JD's third, thank you, man. He says, Giants scored 6 runs tonight against Yamamoto. We couldn't do that. There's something much deeper going on with this team and organization fundamentally flawed. I don't know how deep it is. I don't know if it's a flaw, like fundamental flaw or not. Is it a bad month or is it going to be a bad year? I think it's too early to say it's going to be a bad year. I think it's too easy to say, oh, organizationally something's wrong. I don't know what it is. And I think if they knew what it was, they would have fixed it probably sooner. This is a May 1st on issue right now, and it needs to be resolved. I think it's capable of being resolved. We saw the team in April. They didn't look like this team. So I'm not saying they're going to be the April team all year, but they have to be better than the team they've been the last 6 weeks. But I'm not willing to yet make definitive statements about flawed organizations or something deeper going on, because I think that's probably premature.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that there's something we're not seeing. I think it's just as simple as these guys just are not performing. Like they are all in a collective slump. And that happens in baseball, but I mean, they have nobody to blame but themselves. And Schultz, while his press conferences are the most cringe thing ever when they lose, like sometimes even if they win, there's nothing he can do about this.
Sure.
There's nothing he could do. If he was hitting somebody in the lineup that we all were like, why are you hitting him there? It's just, you can move. Then we would talk about it. But, there's nothing he can do. I mean, What are they going to do with Xander? They can't do anything with him. I mean, it is such a just a lost cause with him. And yet there's no solution other than to play him because they don't have anybody else. And if you want to say put in Jose Iglesias and bench Xander, that would start World War III with this team.
I mean, what does that say about your general manager and your organization? You got to remember that, like, it doesn't work like that in this sport. As much as you may want it to, you might want to think that the numbers are that leads to who plays, but the money is what talks. And these deals are large, and there's agents involved. And hey, listen, there'll be a day where Xander Bogaerts isn't here well before the end of this 11-year deal. Mark my words, mark everyone's words. But in the short term now, you don't. He's not sitting. I'm sorry. Like, you may think he should sit. We can all agree that he hasn't warranted this type of playing time. He's got the worst slugging percentage in baseball. Like Jim just told you, among the worst slugging percentages in baseball. But that's not going to keep him from playing every day in 2025. Could it keep him from playing in 2026 or 27 or beyond? Yeah, that's another conversation. But I think in 2025, in the here and now, with like a 32-year-old Xander Bogaerts who's getting paid like he's getting paid, there's no option other than for Xander to play better than he's played to start this year. Let's get back to this conversation, Jim, in a moment. We do want to remind our viewers about our friends over at SeatGeek because they've got a great offer going on for you right now. We've come through for you guys. We've got a promo code for you. You can get $20 off your first order of $50 or more at SeatGeek. All you need to do is use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADS. WRAP. That's $20 off your first purchase. Promo code PODSWRAP. Just click the link in the description to download the app. Have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. And we do want to thank our friends over at SeatGeek. But this is so simple and easy. Like, Padres back home Friday night, so a week from tonight. That's another Apple TV game, by the way. I found out tonight. You can get into this game for $44 with fees on a Friday night downtown in the East Village and take $20 off with the promo code PODSWRAP. So 2 tickets, $88. Take $20 off, $68 with fees for a Friday night. That sounds like a pretty good value to me. So check them out at SeatGeek, and again, use that promo code and get into Petco Park this upcoming weekend.
Yeah, if you guys want to watch this really good offense,
no, Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt, dude. Bobby Witt Jr., my boy, Bobby Witt Jr., greatest baseball player to ever live. With SeatGeek being MLB's official ticket marketplace, your tickets are fully guaranteed and instantly fulfilled in your account after purchase. Just use our promo code PODSWRAP, PADSWRAP, to get $20 off your first order of $50 or more.
My light went out, man.
Everything's going wrong tonight. Everything is going wrong.
I know. Like when it rains, it pours, as they say. Promo code cooked. That's hilarious. Let me get back to some of the supers. Guys, if you are here, please subscribe here on Content For You and smash the like button for us and follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Thanks for the supers. We're going to do a giveaway before we get out of here, so stick around for the giveaway. And let's get back to these super chats. Retod, thank you for the super. He says, my Xander Sucks podcast is just past 10,000 subscribers. Wow, after only 1 week. That's it? 10K? I mean, it just sucks. It's so easy to pile on.
We should do that.
Yeah, I think we do. I think we do.
And we don't do it because we want to do it. We do it because, like, we're just telling you what's happening. We're telling you the truth. Nothing we're telling you about Xander Bogaerts is like, man, those guys are being too mean.
I hear things.
Your house is haunted.
Could be my wife. Well, I got 2 other people in here, so who knows what's going on. Bad night all around because my wife grew up in Indiana and she was losing her mind over the Pacers. My Jones is saying he hates Shea Gilgeous-Alexander and like he's trying to he's threatening him. Like, relax.
No, the finals the finals is over.
Nah.
That game will haunt Indiana forever.
I mean, they certainly had a chance to win the game. They had large enough lead that they should have held on, but
forever.
And the officiating was awful. Shea Gil just pushed off. Padres news.
Make a bucket one time.
Appreciate the super. I don't even know what this means.
Basically, they're saying I'm very high and I have no idea what's happening.
Thank you, Padres news, for that. I mean, the one thing about Merrill here recently, yes, he's been swinging and missing more. There's no question about it. But again, like, I'm not starting with Merrill in terms of my primary issues right now. Again, I think You go Tatis.
Who are you starting with?
Bogey. I think I'm starting.
Give me your list.
I mean, it's Tatis in general, not tonight. I thought Tatis did some good things tonight. And actually, 3 of his last 4 games, he's had hits in, and he had a double tonight. So, but in general, it's Tatis. It's not tonight Tatis. In general, it's Tatis because the guy's got to hit 40 home runs, and now we're like praying he hits 25. And then from there, yeah, maybe Merrill. Merrill would probably be in a conversation with like Xander. They're different struggles. I'm expecting more of Merrill than I'm expecting of Xander. So I'm asking Merrill to look like the player he looked like earlier this year or in 2024. But it clearly starts, Jim. It has to start with Fernando Tatis Jr. It's not Xander. It's not Jackson Merrill. I think it's Toddy.
I would agree with that. My list of players that are, obviously underperforming but hurting the team the most right now. I would go. I mean, the easy answer is Tatis, but he is your leadoff hitter, so it's not like if he were doing damage, it's like he's not hitting 3-run homers, he's hitting solo shots because no one's getting on in front of him. I think, okay, fine. Tatis 1, Arise 2. Actually, Tatis 1, Bogarts 2, Arise 3.
So Merrill wouldn't even be in your top 3.
No.
Just expecting more from Merrill. I mean, everyone is.
Yeah, but
and he is kind of he really got them going at times last year.
Did.
Clutch hits, and this year probably in the first 10 or 15 games too.
But especially with the veterans they have on this team, I mean, we're asking this of a second-year player in Jackson Merrill over a 2-time World Series champion in Xander Bogarts with a $280 million contract.
Sure,
and a $340 million Fernando Tatis Jr., a 3-time batting champion Luis Arraez.
Like you're right, I buy that.
So those 3 guys, Tatis, Arraez, and Xander, those are the 3 biggest issues in this lineup for me.
Yeah, I buy it. You convinced me based on that argument. I buy that. Let me get back to some of these supers. BM, thank you for the super. Guys, if you want to support, you can click the $ below the chat box. He says, guys, the Bogarts and Toddy Manny, says years down the line, contracts will be financially crippling for the Padres. What's best case scenario down the line? Impossible to know. Impossible to predict. I think it gets harder, as the years go by, specifically with Manny like aging out of his prime and with the dollars owed to players like Bogey and Manny specifically. I think Toddy still has plenty of time, and obviously you're going to be building around Tatis and Merrill theoretically if Tatis is Tatis. But yeah, I think it gets a little harder to win as Manny and Bogarts age because of those contracts. That's just, I think a lot of people probably feel the same way about that.
The team could absolutely function properly with Tatis and Manny's contract. When you added Bogarts, that's when you essentially, cut your legs off. Like you can't, and you don't have any wiggle room now. You're not going to be able to go out and get a left fielder. You're not going to be able to go out and get a catcher. You have financially cut your legs off from underneath you because of the Xander Bogarts contract. You could 100% function as a team and make actual legitimate moves if you just had Tatis and Manny's contract. You could go out there and get a competent left fielder other than signing Jason freaking Hayward to see if he can do anything for you, or signing Martin Maldonado and Elias Diaz. Like, give me a freaking break. But with Xander on the team and with his payroll, now you're forced to go out and get those type of players. And the Manny contract, I think it's going to obviously at the end not look great, but I don't think it's going to age it's going to be like wine. It will age over time. And I think at the end, people will be mostly satisfied with it because he'll put up some really good seasons. And at the end, yeah, it might not look good, but he'll be a legacy player and no one's going to complain about it. And the team's going to suck then. And the only thing to watch going to the ballpark will be, mostly Manny Machado.
Here's what people don't sometimes put in perspective with the contracts is that it's not that you're paying Manny a lot of money or Xander a lot of money. It's what you can't otherwise do now because of the money. So because Xander makes 25.5, what does that mean for AJ Preller at the deadline? Trust me, it means something. Their overall payroll right now is X. Let's say they're willing to go up, $6 million. But, maybe they would have been willing to go up more if Xander wasn't on this roster and they had more money to play with. Or maybe they would have addressed left field in a greater degree this offseason, or catcher. That's what it means. I always use the analogy. It's like you have $100 at a grocery store. You can't get everything. That's the same thing with the Padres. I mean, they're not the Dodgers. They've spent a lot of money at the grocery store. So now it's like, what can you do at the deadline? You're not shedding payroll. It's not like, well, we'll just get rid of Bogey and add 50 million. No, it's not going to work like that. So it puts them in a tougher situation because they've spent a lot of money, and that prevents them from making other moves because of the money allocated to players like Xander Bogarts who are, not performing. JD's third thank you says, I'm saying if this year's like 2021 and 2023, then flaw. Yeah, I mean, it would be, we always say this, Jim. It's like one good year, we're like, oh, Preller's doing a great job. Like, look at the body of work. And then one bad year, like, he's not doing a good job. Look at 2021 and 2023 and 2025. Like, it all hinges on every other year. I would say if the Padres get into the postseason this year, you'd be like, wow, Preller's done a decent job here this decade. He's put this team in the postseason a lot. If they don't get into the postseason, be like, massive failure. How did you miss the postseason with this team and this payroll? So, I mean, let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, I really haven't thought much about
end of year
stuff. And I really haven't thought to myself, let's just blame AJ for this,
Yeah.
Can I blame him for the Xander contract? Well, yes, obviously I can, but I think Peter had a lot to do with that thing, a lot. So unfortunately, that's kind of mostly, I feel like, on Peter. Peter was throwing a lot of money around. He wanted to go big after the 2022 season. And unfortunately, he landed on the absolute wrong guy in Xander Bogarts. But everything, and after that signing, AJ was forced to then have to go out and maneuver around this giant albatross of a contract, and so I think he's done a good job. It's like the Mike Schilt thing. Mike Schilt can't do anything. Now, AJ Preller can do stuff, but what is AJ Preller supposed to do? He can't go out and sign a left fielder because they don't have any money to do that because of the Xander contract. Now, right. It was part of his doing, but if he doesn't go out and act now and go and trade for somebody, and he just waits this thing out and doesn't make any moves until the deadline, then yeah, I'll talk about that and be like, dude, what the hell are you doing? You've watched this team over the last however many months, have a slow death. Why aren't you trying to help?
All right, let me get back to some of these supers here. I mean, yeah, it's hard. I can't go down the Preller path right now because it's June. We'll do it at the deadline. We'll do it at the end of the season. It's harder game in and game out to go. It's a harder conversation to have. Jonathan, appreciate the generous super chat. He says everyone needs to chill out, and this is the other angle. I mean, okay, I understand the point. He says everyone needs to chill out. I want this same energy when the team goes on this next run. We're not even at the All-Star break yet. I would understand if someone thought that some of the panic was a little early. I don't think I would say it this way, Jonathan. I respect your opinion. I do understand if someone said, well, there's a little too much panic considering the overall body of work at 38 and 30. I don't personally feel that way because I feel like we're seeing some of these indicators, and I'm looking at the National League, and it's concerning in general. But, I mean, I would understand that, Jim. I mean, they are 38 and 30. It's not like they've done damage to themselves based on the way that they've even played over the last month. They haven't done a ton of damage, despite the fact that they've had this anemic offense for a month straight.
Yeah, and thanks for the super chat, Jonathan. But what this super chat tells me is then you clearly weren't watching us to start the season or in the postseason last year or in the second half last year when the energy from this channel and from me and John was through the roof. The one thing I always tell people that watch us, either if it's for the first time or whatnot, and they're like, let's see what John and Jim are talking about. And then if they come out of the conversation like, man, those guys were super negative. Well, here's the thing. When the team does well, watch, because more often than not, which is like every single time, we're praising them. When the team is not doing well, we let you know. And yes, have we maybe in the last couple of weeks after wins been like, man, this team won, but they still got some problems? Yeah, of course we have. But like, we're just telling you what we watch, and what we watch is the team and the offense has not been good.
No, it hasn't. I mean, it really hasn't. So, I mean, Jonathan's point, listen, you may be proven correct that they go on a run. It's like this is what I would say to Jonathan, and I appreciate your support. Over 162, there's going to be everything. It's like the next time that Bogarts homers,
it's a roller
you're going to
coaster,
see
bro.
the tweets. I told you he was going to snap out of this.
Yeah.
Where are all the Bogarts haters at now? He's had hits in 3 consecutive games and homered. Yeah, it's a long year. Every player has hits in 3 consecutive games and homers. Like literally, all of the players will do that in the major leagues. It's about body of work stuff. It's about trend lines. It's about the eye test. Like I don't know what to say other than the eye test to me suggests a team that isn't 38-30, truthfully. But they started 14-3, but that was a long time ago, and they're 3 games under 500. Since HBBV, thank you for the super. Says, actually, before we get to this, I'll get to it in 1 second, HBBV. Do want to remind our viewers about our friends over at MOA. MOA Globes has been with the wrap-up show for the last couple of years. This is a great gift idea for the baseball fan in your life. These spin automatically with artificial or natural light, and you can get 10% off with promo code PWS10. That's PWS10. Click the link in the description down below. Great gift idea for the baseball fan in your life. Perfect for a home or work office. Your family's going to love them. They have other globes as well, and they're officially licensed, not just for the Padres, but for all 30 teams. So check them out. Great gift idea. Amazing for a baseball fan. Use promo code PWS10.
Yeah, you can pick up a MOA Globe today. If you're a Padres fan, it's a great thing to have. Even if you're not a Padres fan and you're watching us, they have MOA Globes for all 30 Major League Baseball clubs. So use our promo code PWS10. It's in the chat below. Click the link. Pick up a MOA Globe today.
No doubt about it. Let me get back to HBBV, who says, thank you, man. He says, trade X and Wandy for Jaron Duran. Boston fans will be happy.
Who says no?
I like it, actually. It's kind of a funny super. If Boston's trying to completely punt on their future, then maybe they'd be willing to do that. But
the computer and MLB The Show video game wouldn't even do that trade.
Yeah, the commissioner's gonna be like, no, it's Chris Paul. Like we're not gonna.
I actually do kind of like low key like this move.
Adolis Garcia and Higgy.
Yeah, bring back Higgy, get Adolis Garcia.
Yeah, with Texas.
It would, AC reported they're willing to take on money. That's what I understand. Higgy, if they were willing to take on money and spend some money, like why didn't they sign Higgy
in the first place?
Right, and then went down a path of like, how can we become the worst offensive team in baseball at catcher? Oh, I know. That signed Martin Maldonado and Elias Diaz. Like what?
Yeah, it's true.
Like, I mean, not easy fix, but upgrade for sure. You trade for Adolis Garcia and Higgy. You release and get Martin Maldonado as far away from this team as possible. Elias Diaz, you can kick rocks. I know this team doesn't have any faith in Luis Campusano, but as your backup catcher, he's fine. And guess what? He was your backup catcher last year, even though he didn't make the postseason roster. But still, like, I don't know, man. They actively chose that. They actively said, you know what? We think that Martin Maldonado and Elias Diaz can be good for us. Like that was an actual thing they probably talked about and said.
Yeah, the issue, like it just in plain English, is like Profar has not been close to replicated 2024.
Nope.
Higgy hasn't been close to replicated.
Nope.
You're not close to the same offense. I mean, that's overly simplifying it, obviously, but like it isn't rocket science also. And we talked about it throughout the course of the offseason. All right, here's what I want to do, Jim, because you haven't even seen this stuff. Jim, I have things for you.
Oh, thanks for bringing this to work today.
Well, I'm going to give a couple of things away. Okay. Now, here's the caveat for the giveaways. I'm going to do 3 giveaways, but here is the caveat. You have to be subscribed to this channel. You have to be willing to pick your one item that you win up at our office, because I don't want to ship this stuff out because it's a process. And it's
what are we doing right now? Why are we doing this why don't we wait for the Dodger series when
I got other
popping?
things. Okay, I'm going to do 2 giveaways tonight. 2. I went from 3 to 2. Okay.
Well, we do. Okay, fine.
1.
We'll do 1, and we'll
Another one Sunday night.
And we'll unload the clip on Monday night after the Dodgers.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, what I'm giving away tonight is this brand new cap from Parks and Normal, City Connect. This thing is unbelievable. If you look at some of this like design and intricacy and patterns and detailing. All right, you got Toddy on the front celebrating a home run, which you can only find in this Parks and Normal hat because he's not doing it in real life. So you got Toddy, right? I think it's Toddy.
That's Toddy.
It's Toddy, but he's also like, it's really cool when you see like the detailing up close. Then you got more Toddy to go with Merrill. And I think Machado.
That's Manny. Yes.
And then you get the beautiful art. Plus you get Padres underneath. I mean, Parks and Normal, nobody does it like this.
When you put the hat on to, when you put the hat on to show it off.
Put it on. Now my light's off, but like it's a good looking hat.
I like it.
It's a good looking hat.
I like it.
I mean, these hats, go to their website, parksnormal.com. They're not cheap because they're beautiful.
They're very
I've
detailed.
got like 20 in my closet.
20?
Yeah, you have like, well, you don't wear them, dude.
You know what?
Okay. His ballpark pretzel said used hat. So how are you gonna give this away?
Why are you asking me? You're the one that decided to do this without talking to me about it. You didn't say, hey, let's talk about how we can give this away and how we're gonna do it. I don't know. It's 10:44 on a Friday night. I'm like, I don't know.
If you want this hat, put subbed.
Oh my God. What are you doing?
We've given stuff away before.
How about this? All right. Since you displayed the hat and you showed it to everybody, now make sure you're watching us on Sunday night, because we're going to give away 2 hats on Sunday night, and we're going to give away a hat on Monday night to start the Dodgers after the first game.
So we're not giving anything away after all that?
Correct. Because we're not going to be like, how are we going to do this? Like on the air.
Okay. You heard Jim. Jim ruined our fun.
I'm sure that everyone that's watching us right now on a Friday night at 10:45 p.m. will be with us on Sunday night as well.
Probably true.
Because we got the diehards watching us right now, and they're going to be with us. Yeah, don't worry, Normal Heights. I know you're going to be with us.
Let me show you one of the giveaway items for either Sunday or Monday.
Okay,
all right, Jim, stand by.
Oh, shorts. Now, are you going to put those shorts on and model them or no?
No, I'm wearing pants right now, so I'm not going to change. Steven says bait and switch. We have these. And then these are too big for you. They're too big for me. It's size medium, but they're kind of large. So you got to be like bigger than John Schaefer, which means you got to probably be bigger than Jim. Hold on. Let me show Jim. Look at this. But wait, there's more. Okay, 98. Jim doesn't care. Okay.
Those are cool.
Hold on. Look at these. Dude, the good old days, freaking 2020, Tatis swinging 3-0, Slam Diego.
Oh, Slam Diego. Those are nice.
Okay.
My favorite part about your video today showing off the stuff was when your camera like literally was like, these are cool. And then it was like drifting to the side.
I was doing an idiot.
I was like, John, you can put these things down and show them a different way. There you go. Okay.
Now, let me show you. Okay. So I have 2 of these hats. Now in theory, I was going to keep potentially this, or Jim was, here's the brown.
Ooh,
for 2025. Look at this. You got the whole, like the fearsome foursome with a rise just popping out.
I just was making sure Xander's not on there because I don't want to put anything in my head that has Xander Bogarts on it.
And look at this.
Oh, man. Wait. No, it's the pitching staff. Okay, cool.
Yeah, when you thought it was Xander.
Yeah, I was like, nope, I'm not putting that thing anywhere close to my head if Xander Bogarts is on it.
So this, let me see what this puppy looks like.
Oh, this has Xander on it. Wait, no. This does that? No. Wait, is that Xander?
Nice.
No, Xander was not with the team in 2022.
James says he wants his hat.
Oh, this is Xander on it. Ew, gross, yucky. Yeah.
So you're saying, well, okay, Jim, I'm putting this on you. We're giving something away Sunday night. Jim's going to come up with a way to do it.
Nope, John is.
No, because I would have done something tonight.
Fine, do something tonight. Whatever you want. This is up to you. You asked me. Okay, you asked me, and I told you I don't want to do it. You do it. Whatever. This is on you. However you do it, this is on you.
If you're able to pick this up, where do we work? In the Mission Valley area? Arrow Drive.
We're on Arrow Drive off Mission Gorge Road.
Right now in the chat, subbed and will pick up. Jim will then pick the person, and we'll figure out when you can meet me.
John will figure out when you can meet us.
Or I'll just send it to you probably. Just put subs and we'll pick up in the chat. While you do that, Jim will pick in a moment. But while you do that, let me tell our viewers about Underdog Fantasy because they've got a great offer going on right now for our viewers. If you use promo code PODSWRAP, that's PADSWRAP, you're going to get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000 plus a free gimme pick. What do you say we play some WNBA Saturday, Jim?
Give me Caitlin Clark. Give me some Caitlin Clark stuff.
She's back. I like higher than 31.5 points and rebounds and assists because it's Caitlin Clark. Okay. I'm going to pair that with a lot of lowers with the Padres. So let's see. Just lower on everything, right?
Padres? Oh, yeah, lower.
Yeah,
is Xander on there?
Lower. Yeah, lower on Bogey.
Lower.
Like, let's just do the reverse jinx, and like do the reverse jinx right here and
lower on everybody on the team.
Say that Corbin Carroll's going to homer and every Padre is going to do nothing and see if we can turn everyone around.
Right. We've tried everything this year.
It couldn't be. We've tried everything. It couldn't be simpler. Couldn't be easier to play and win. I mean, you just simply choose higher or lower, and then you go 4 for 4 here. $10 pays $167.60. Even if you don't get everything right, you flex it. You can still win up to $100. So it couldn't be simpler. Couldn't be easier. Play along right now. Click that link in the description down below. Use promo code PODSWRAP. That's PADSWRAP, and get the 50% deposit match up to $1,000 plus the free gimme pick. All right, Jim. You want to know part of this?
I know. I did. I don't. This is all on you. You pick.
Okay. Okay, here I'm just scrolling through it. How am I supposed to do this? I'm such an idiot. You're gonna kill me. You literally are gonna kill me.
I told you.
Okay, here's my winner. I'm gonna close my eyes and scroll. Tell me when I click someone that says look at me right now, right?
Yeah.
Tell me when I click on something if it says subbed and will pick up. Does it?
Yeah, but there's kind of an asterisk here.
Oh no.
he spammed the chat. This is on you, dude.
HBBV. I picked you. We'll have more giveaways for people coming up later in the week. Here's the deal. Email Padres wrap-up show at gmail.com. There is no sizzler on Arrow Drive, is there? Fine. Here's what I'm going to do, you Jim, because I hate you. You pick the second. I'm giving away 2. You pick the second right now, Jim. HBBV is one of the winners. Email Padres wrap-up show at gmail.com and let's figure out how you can pick it up or I'll send it to you. Pick a second winner right now.
Hold on.
Faulty Spark. Or is it Spork? I always say Spark.
Faulty Spork.
Okay. Email Padres wrap-up show at gmail.com. Let me know if you want to swing by our offices at iHeart or if I need to email or if I need to send it to you. Both you. Email Padres wrap-up show at gmail.com. Congratulations. You both win. We'll give away more of those items from Parks and Normal Sunday and Monday. How about that? Jim wants to murder everyone. All right. Join us Sunday night.
That was the worst run giveaway in the history of giveaways.
It was awful.
You're like, hey, by the way, I got some hats. Hey, I think we should give away a hat right now. So what do you want to do, Jim?
No, I thought you were going to. You're usually you're the idea guy. So I thought you'd be able to hook it up on the fly.
Here's how you do it, John. This is what you do. You take pictures of like the hats and you post them on social media promoting. Watch the wrap-up show tonight. We're giving away 2 hats on the wrap-up show. You have to follow and like
smart.
this thing, and you have to be a sub. You have to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
First of all, I'm giving things away.
Yeah, but you're like, hey, do you guys want this stapler? Put your name in the. What do you want to do, Jim? Put your name in the chat or something. I mean, how do you want to do this? How do you want to give this thing away? It's literally what happened.
It wasn't good. I'll take the blame. We have more things to give away. It's a free damn channel, and it is worse than the offense. What I just did.
Hey, do you guys want this? What is it here? Hold on. Let me pull this thing out here. Hey, do you guys want this Juan Soto Foco bobblehead?
Cigarette dispenser.
Hey, do you guys want oh, there's my 3/4 jack. Do you guys want this Mewtwo card?
You want a 3/4 jack?
You guys want oh, this might be pretty cool to give away. You want these State Blenders glasses? Pretty cool.
Okay, I didn't do it great. But you guys know me. I came from a good place. I'm trying to give stuff away for our viewers on a Friday night. They're here after a 5-1 loss.
Do you guys want this 49ers ball marker here and divot remover? That's cool.
Kind of.
Oh,
my Jackson Merrill card.
I got a good giveaway. Do you guys want hold on. Do you guys want this like iPhone 2 from back in 2011? That's cool.
Fine. Here's guess what? Is everyone losing? No more giveaways. Is that what you're saying?
Hold on. Wait. You guys want this wrap-up show hat? It's pretty cool.
That's dope. I'll wear that because either one I wore to death.
I made a mess. I blame you.
Are you saying? Do you want to just no more giveaways?
No, I was making fun of you for the giveaway tonight.
I would give away more stuff Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, so we'll do it the right way. This time.
We'll do it the right way, potentially. BM, before we get out of here, guys, will Padres move to a 1970s style retro City Connect uni next year? Perhaps all yellow, brown lettering 1973 uniform? Or is this just a rumor? I haven't seen that rumor. I don't think most teams go back to retro, truthfully. If you look at City Connects, there's not a lot of like vintage uniforms across Major League Baseball with City Connect. Like, look at what the Diamondbacks are wearing tonight.
Retro? No, if anything, they'll like, if they did go retro style, they would modernize it. So yeah, I don't know. It's just as long as they don't do some stupid shit again, like make these things cool, not ugly. But they'll make them ugly.
I do like this idea. Daniel says play a game next time. Take on John. We probably won't.
We will not do that.
I meant well. I meant well with it.
You meant well. You just did it wrong.
Screwed it up. All right, guys. Subscribe. Year-round content for Padres fans. You might even win something watching this channel. Probably not, but you may. Smash the like button for us. Follow us on X at John Schaefer, at Jim Russell SD. Support our partners, Marc Nimetz at Farmers Insurance. If you have an insurance need, our friends over at Hamul Casino, MOA Globes, SeatGeek, Underdog Fantasy, and let's catch up Sunday night following Game 3 of the series between the Padres and the Diamondbacks. Then we get ready for the Dodgers again, this time from Dodger Stadium. Congrats to our 2 winners. We'll have more winners later in the weekend and next week. For Jim, I'm John. This has been the wrap-up show. Peace.
Bye.
My bad.